You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening and happy Saturday evening to you. Welcome to the Sporting Time Show. What a week for high school basketball. And joining me tonight, well, to share in all the glory that he and I had nothing to do with, is Taryn Johnson. Taryn, how are you?
Doug, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself? Thank you for having me back on. We get to share in the glory of talking about these fine performances, which we will mention a little bit later in the show, but a week full of incredible basketball performances, and we get to chat about them.
Yeah, and I felt kind of bad after I said it because, I don't really want to sell you that short. I mean, it's one thing to talk about me like that, but it's another you because I don't know. You might be a great basketball player.
Well, Doug, as you can probably tell from my physique, I was not a superstar. I can hit the three every now and then.
That's good.
In college and intramurals, I would hit the three, but that's about it. That's what my game consists of.
Well, listen, we all kind of live a little bit in the past, so that's fine. But before we get to this week's Player of the Week on the girls' side, I do want to mention that district tournament is right around the corner. It starts March 15th. We will be the exclusive live video streamer for the district tournament. One of the things that we are going to do, and we've talked it over with the host school, is we're going to do a pay-per-view for district basketball, but the proceeds are going to be divided amongst all 14th district schools, Taryn, because they have been devastated with no crowds, no concessions, and we're really going to try to generate some revenue for them that they can spread between the 5 schools. Now, it's $6 per night, so you get to see 2 games for basically $3. So, I think it's certainly a great cause, but we just don't want our fans to go to the site to watch the game and say, wait, we have to pay? Yes, but it goes to a good cause.
Yeah, for sure, Doug. And $6 a night is pretty much what you would pay to watch the games in person anyways under normal circumstances. But the fact that this money is going to help those District 14 teams and schools, high schools, athletic departments is really fantastic. That's what I love most about this, Doug. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic because these schools have been absolutely obliterated by not having any fans in football and now in basketball as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be great.
Yeah, and we're also looking at some other kinds of fundraisers that we can do to generate more revenue for these schools. And as we get closer to making those decisions, then you and I will let our viewers know how they can participate. But it's all good. And man, Taryn, last week's performances probably were some of the best we have seen yet. Obviously, when you hear our honorable mention for Girls Players of the Week and the boys' side, off the charts.
Yeah, there was a lot of work and a lot of prep that went into forming these Players of the Week and the honorable mentions this week, Doug, because we had so many performances that we had to leave some fantastic ones out. But the local high school players, both boys and girls, are absolutely on fire here in our local area.
Well, let's start it off with the girls. Clinton County, Braley Mann, 19 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. She went 13 for 16 from the free throw line. This is coming off a 5-day hiatus because of COVID. What a great performance by her. Congratulations to Braley.
Didn't skip a beat right there. Our next honorable mention, Cumberland County's junior Maggie Morgan goes off for 19 points and 14 boards in a losing effort, but still a fantastic performance by Maggie.
Yeah, how about the senior, Bowling Green senior, James, 21 points, 10 for 12 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, another double-double. That was against DuPont Manual. LaKayla, we have her in the top every week. Every week. Tremendous player, so congratulations to her.
Our last honorable mention, Warren East senior Lucy Patterson goes off for 25 points, 8 rebounds versus South Warren. The Lady Raiders get the 59-57 win, and Doug, that's just a fantastically clutch performance, too, by the senior guard.
Oh, that's huge. And our player of the week is another fantastic freshman from Allen County, Scottsville, freshman guard Jaylee Steenbergen. She had 18 points, 15 rebounds. She was 5 for 6 from the free throw line against Warren East. But here's the beauty of it. She averages 8 9.1 points per game. What a performance by the freshman. We got a ton of great underclassmen out there this year, so
Absolutely.
Congratulations to Jaylee Steenbergen for a great performance and for being our Player of the Week.
Yeah, very well deserved, Doug. That's an absolutely phenomenal performance by the young woman right there.
Well, when we come back, we've got a couple of great guests lined up. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more of the Sporting Times right here on WNKY NBC 40. Welcome back. My first guest is the school's all-time winningest coach, and he just punched their school's ticket into the quarterfinals of the All-A Classic with a big win over Owensboro Catholic. My guest is a 15-2 head coach of the Clinton County Bulldogs, Coach Todd Messer. Coach, welcome to the show.
Doug, I appreciate the opportunity and appreciate you asking us to be on the show again.
Well, Coach, 15-2, and I've always said you guys always punch up. You always look for tough competition throughout the entire season. And, last night pitted two really good teams against each other in an All-A Classic that really wasn't supposed to happen. And it did happen. But just kind of talk about this big win last night against Owensboro Catholic and how you guys performed down the last few minutes of the fourth quarter.
Well, it's definitely been a roller coaster last week from the All-A being canceled, and then you hear rumors that it may be back on, and then the next thing you know, you've got a completely different bracket, and now you're scrambling trying to get in as many game tapes and scouting reports as you can. Really proud of our kids. We played a fantastic basketball team last night, led by a legendary coach and Coach Riley, someone I have the utmost respect for what he's accomplished. Our kids really locked in. The good thing for us, I've said all along, while our record's good, I didn't think we had played to our potential as of yet. We had the 4 best days of practice that we had all year leading into this game, was set as much as we could be. And then we were able to transfer it from the practice floor into the game when the popcorn started popping, and our kids played phenomenally well. It was a hard-nosed, gritty game. One that we faced some adversity throughout, got behind, got one of our most important players in Chase Tynes in foul trouble, was able to stymie that and come back and make some winning plays down the stretch.
So Coach, you and I talked this phone earlier in the week, and you had talked about a loss that you had last week that was a real teachable moment for you, and that you thought your guys really let that game get away from you last week. How much do you think that game meant and the teachable moment as you went into this first round of the game against Owensboro Catholic?
Well, it definitely humbled us. I thought we were a little bit too full of ourselves at segments of this year, and actually the Allen County game that we lost earlier, thought we were a little too full of ourselves. We're virtually 4 points away from being undefeated on the year. The game we lost prior to this one, we did a poor job of executing. We did a poor job getting prepared in practice for that game, as bad as preparation as any of my teams have ever had. And then even through that, we get to a 3-point lead within the last minute and a half of the game, and that's usually our time where our discipline and being fundamental carries us through. And we made 2 boneheaded turnovers and took 1 bad shot that really costed us, which sprungboard us into when we got back to practice. I had their attention because I was going to get it. Sunday wasn't a nice day for them after that loss, and we got back to trying to be who we are. And then it led to last night where we executed our game plan phenomenally well. We thought we could spread them out and attack downhill and get to the rim for layups or free throws. We took 2 mid-range jumpers the whole game. We only took 8 threes on the game. All 8 of those threes were before halftime. So at halftime, I told them, look, don't get away from what we want to do. Don't be quick to pull the 3. Let's move them. Let's get downhill. Let's get layups, free throws, or hit them on the backside when helps come. Then in the third and fourth quarter, we did it exactly like we had talked about, something that we hadn't done in segments of the year where you get in the flow, get in the game, and then our minds go somewhere else, and we start breaking away from the things that's made us successful.
Coach, I got about 30 seconds. 2 questions. One is, you play Murray. Where's that game going to be played at?
We hosted at the Castle here in Clinton Saturday at 5 o'clock.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Real quick, about 10 seconds. I know you got a huge amount of respect for Coach Riley, but was it kind of fun going against him as far as basketball wits and then walking away with a big win?
Oh, absolutely. If you're a competitor, you want to go against the best. You know, Coach Riley puts me in the mind of Coach Keith with all his accomplishments. If you're a competitor, you want to play good teams, good coaches. You want to challenge yourself. If you're not wanting to do that, you're in the wrong line of business anyway.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the All-A. We'll be following you, and thanks again for joining us. Welcome back. My next guest earlier this week, just broke the all-time single-game scoring record, surpassing Damian Fishback and Luke Luttrell. When they had scored 40 points, he won better than with 41 points. He's a junior guard from Greenwood High School. My next guest, Kade Stennik. Kade, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
What a big night you had. 41 points. I got to ask you, during that game, did you just feel it that you were performing so well? And if so, at what point in time did you say, just give me the ball?
You know, growing up, whenever I would see like NBA players have a big game and I'd watch their interview, I always thought it was real cliche whenever they would give other people credit. I'd be like, oh, you just hit a bunch of shots. But, you know, now that I'm fortunate enough that it's happened to me, you know, Coach McCoy put me in great spots last night, and he really told the guys, I had a big first half, so he really told the guys, play through me, and, you know, that's what we did, and I was fortunate enough to break the record. I knew I was in the zone a little bit. I didn't quite know if I had broken the record until everybody was telling me, but yeah, it was just a great night overall. My teammates, they were really proud of me. I loved seeing their support after the game, and yeah, it was just a great night and a great win.
Kade, one of the things I noticed on the box score was I think you were 2 for 3 from three-point land. You shot 75% from the field, so it's not like you were taking a bunch of three-point shots. One of the things that has always impressed me about you from the first time I saw you play was how crafty you are around the basket and how good you are getting to the basket. Just kind of talk a little bit about, you know, how you felt or what you thought were plays that you could exploit to get you those points last night or earlier this week.
Yeah, I think everybody knows in the region I'm more of a driver than a shooter, even though I've improved my three-point shot a lot. But, you know, I really love to get in transition. That's where I'm best at. And I love finishing at the rim in transition and getting to the free throw line. And our defensive energy was really good last night, and it allowed me to get some leak outs in transition and, you know, get some one-on-one opportunities, and that's where I'm best at.
So I want to ask you, do you watch a lot of basketball on TV? Is it NBA or college or both?
Did you say NBA or college?
Yeah, I mean, do you watch a lot of college basketball or a lot of NBA or both?
I watch a lot of both, you know. I mean, I watch more players in the NBA, but I watch more teams in college, I guess you could say, if that makes sense.
So is there a player early on in your career that you said, you know, I like the style that he plays and I kind of want to play like him? Are there a couple of players in college or NBA that, you know, you really like?
I mean, you know, growing up, I mean, the cliche answer would always be like LeBron, you know. I mean, everybody wants to play like LeBron and Kevin Durant, but, you know, people like Kawhi Leonard, I really like how he is a two-way player. He's really good defensively and offensively, so I've always tried to play as a two-way player, really.
So this Greenwood Gators team is a dangerous team. Talk a little bit about Mark Grant, Aaron Brown, and the supporting cast that you have around you that makes this team so good and potentially a team that could really cause a lot of issues as we get into postseason.
Yeah, we played a really tough schedule this year. Our record should be better than it is right now, but I think we took a really big step last night. And yeah, like you said, Mark and Aaron and people like that. Aaron's a great rebounder. Mark's an unbelievable shooter. We got scores, and if we keep up our defense and everybody buys into the process, we can make a little run in the postseason, like you said.
So, did you get to keep the ball last night? I mean, do you have the ball?
Yeah, I do have the ball.
Are you going to get one of those nice glass cases or plexiglass cases that you put it in?
I don't know yet. It's all really just sinking in. I don't know what I'm going to do with all that.
Well, listen, your performance last night will be forever on demand on stfanclub.com, so you can go back and watch it as many times as you want, Kade. And thank you very much for joining me today, and we wish you all the luck in postseason, and what a fantastic performance you had. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me.
All right. Thank you, Kade. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, well, Taryn Johnson and I wrap things up here on this week's Sporting Time Show. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on WNKY NBC 40. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back. What a couple of great guests. I mean, when you think about Todd Messer as being the all-time winningest coach, and now Kade Stennik being the all-time leading scorer in a single game, wow.
That's a couple legendary performances right there with Coach Messer, just this regular season and his career in general. But Cade's 41-point game, Doug, my goodness gracious. He was on fire the entire night. And a really great interview right there.
I'm not sure, Taryn, that I could stand under the basket and score 41 points with nobody guarding me. But I don't want to test that theory because that would be totally embarrassing. But congratulations to him. And then the game between Clinton County, Owensboro Catholic in the first round, of course, Coach Tim Riley, legendary coach. But both him and Todd Messer, both of those guys are alpha coaches, right? And apparently that game was a little bit chippy there.
Oh, yeah, of course. But when you're in the All-A Classic, Doug, it has to be chippy. That means everybody's into it. You got to love seeing that. And, of course, it came down to the wire with two coaches like that going against each other.
Oh, fantastic. So we want to wish, of course, Clinton County good luck against Murray as that game will be in progress as our show is airing. But we wish them luck. Now, in the first segment, you and I talked about the girl players of the week and the honorable mention, how great they were, how great the field was. The boys are no different this week.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, kind of a spoiler alert, right? As far as who our player of the week will be, right? I mean, you can probably come to that conclusion.
It can't be too hard to guess at this point in time, Doug. We've talked about him a little bit on the show already, but yeah. But, We'll leave it for last.
What's funny about that is, you have to wait until the very last game is played before we go on air because you don't know what's going to happen. And I'm moving guys around, and I'm talking to broadcast guys, and we're like, that happened, But we've got a great list, and I'm gonna kick it off with Anthony Woodard out of Logan County. Of course, he goes by Rooster. He is a senior guard forward, 25 points. 11 rebounds, another double-double for Anthony, and that was against Glasgow. Congratulations to him.
Our next honorable mention, Barron County junior Tay Pointer goes off for 24 points in a 73-31 win versus Apollo. A very efficient, Doug, and this is a stat we both love. Very efficient, 10 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. Fantastic performance by Tay.
Yeah, that's a great performance, and we've got a couple of Bowling Green Purple guys up next. Senior Isaiah Mason, who we have talked about so many times on this show. 22 points, 11 rebounds, 12 for 12 from the charity line, and this was against Fern Creek. 12 for 12. I mean, that is just fantastic.
Well, I will pick it up right there, Doug, because our next honorable mention is Bowling Green Jr. Turner Buttry has 25 points versus Fern Creek, 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, and 12 of 12 from the line as well. That's a couple of purples who can nail their free throw shots. So props to them.
Note to other teams, don't foul those two guys. They're good for 24 points in a game. And then we have Franklin Simpson Sr., Andreas Miller, who any other week would have been our player of the week. He scores 34 points, 9 for 9 from the free throw line, 11 for 14 from the field, and that was against Metcalfe County. 34 points.
Man.
I think he's averaging 25 points per game this year, but he is going to be in the running for our player of the year.
And well-deserved. He
right?
should. He should, absolutely.
He is a tremendous player. Franklin Simpson, congratulations. And, of course, you have this week's
Player of the Week, Greenwood Jr., Kade Stennik, 41 points in a 79-55 win versus Christian County, 15 of 21 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 9 of 13 from the free throw line. Kade Stennik, round of applause to you, my friend. Phenomenal performance, Doug. I mean, when you see a player go off for 41 points like this, you know that it's just a special night. And that's a night that nobody will forget at Greenwood and, in the area. I mean, that's just a fantastic performance by Kade.
He shot 75% from the field, and
Yeah.
if you missed it, you can go to Roku or Amazon Fire TV, download the Sporting Times app, or go to stfanclub.com, and that game is on demand, and you can watch Kade break the record and do what he does. But unfortunately for the rest of the region, he's only a junior. So you're going to see more of Kade as we go on. But what a great week for high school basketball. And Taryn, great seeing you again.
Absolutely.
We don't get together enough. We just kind of see each other at the show.
I know, we should. We should get together after the show more often, Doug.
After the show. We can have one of those shows.
I like it.
But anyway, everybody have a great week. Have a safe week. We will see you next week, same time, same place. For Doug Thompson, Taryn Johnson, be safe and have a great week.